Have you ever begged for love from the same person who broke you? And then, without even knowing why, we bring these stories into our lives again and again. So today, let's find out why you're addicted to people who hurt you. And once you know, you can break free. They say they love you, but their actions keep cutting you open. And when you look back, you see a familiar story. Maybe you feel like you're dependent on the other person, even though they don't treat you well. Our early experiences with caregivers shape our attachment styles, which affect how we relate to others later in life. Most of us develop one of three attachment styles: avoidant, anxious, or disorganized. If your attachment style is anxious or disorganized, you might find yourself constantly seeking love and connection, but also fearing rejection and abandonment. They don't respond to your texts. They seem busy when you call. Call it the attachment trap. This is a pattern, not a personal failure. You're not broken. The love you learned was. And once you know the rules of the game, you can start playing by yours. Set boundaries. Let them know what behavior is unacceptable and what the consequences are. Go no contact when necessary. Don't be afraid to take a break and focus on yourself. Heal the wounded inner child within you. Seek therapy, somatic work, journaling, and other forms of healing. Build new secure connections with people who treat you well. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Rewiring your brain takes time, but every step you take is a step towards freedom. They don't even look at you when you talk to them. It might help someone else who's going through the same thing. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more psychology-based storytelling and healing content. Thank you for watching and take care. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's like you're invisible, and that silence can be deafening. You're left wondering what you did wrong. You start overanalyzing every interaction you've had with them. Did something you said upset them? Did you do something they didn't like? And the worst part is that they won't even tell you what's going on. You re-trapped in this silent battle where you didn't know what you re-fighting for or against. And this silence becomes a weapon. It keeps you chasing after them, explaining yourself, obsessing over what they think of you. And it drives a wedge between you and your friends and family, because now your whole world revolves around understanding theirs. You're addicted to the hope that they'll finally choose you. But they might not, and that's why it hurts so much. Why? Because it reminds you of your childhood when your parent would leave you alone and you feel scared and helpless. So you grew up thinking that love is conditional and you have to do certain things to keep it. And unknowingly, you start looking for the same dynamic in your adult relationships. That's why you re-attracted to people who are emotionally unavailable or inconsistent, because they remind you of your past experiences. But here's the kicker. It's not that you're addicted to them. You're addicted to the unfinished story of your younger self. Like, comment, and subscribe. Well, there's a psychological term for that: trauma bonding. It's when you feel a powerful emotional attachment to someone who causes you harm. But when we're in a toxic relationship, this system gets hijacked. Because sometimes we unknowingly create situations where we can experience pain, and then we convince ourselves that this time will be different. Why? Because you might have a habit of getting into relationships that hurt you. And it might be because deep down you think you deserve the pain. After all, we usually repeat the patterns we learned growing up. So if your family was emotionally distant or abusive, you might subconsciously seek out that same treatment. It might sound crazy, but you could be addicted to the pain because you think that experiencing pain will prove that you're worthy of love this time. It's like a twisted reward system where the more you suffer, the more you believe you deserve love. And that's why you try to change the other person, because you think the solution is to heal them. But here's the thing. You're trying to win a battle that should have ended years ago. Let's take a typical fight, for example. When there's a conflict, your brain releases cortisol, a stress hormone, and your body becomes tense. But then the person apologizes or makes amends. That brief moment of reconciliation releases a rush of dopamine. This cycle of conflict and temporary resolution creates a roller coaster of emotions that keeps you hooked. And it feels like passion, but it's actually trauma. Your brain is literally being rewired to crave the drama. And you might not even realize it as happening because the other person might not intend to manipulate you. They could genuinely be clueless about how their actions affect you. So you think you're in love, but really you're addicted to the highs and lows of this toxic cycle. But here's where it gets complicated. That person might not mean to hurt you. In fact, they might not even realize that their actions are harmful. That's why it's important to understand the science behind it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Trauma bonding is linked to something called intermittent reinforcement, which means that you experience affection from the other person unpredictably followed by withdrawal or rejection. Your brain gets a spike of dopamine, the feel-good hormone, when you experience any type of positive emotion, including affection. When that affection disappears, your brain craves it, wanting to feel that high again. This creates a cycle of craving and withdrawal that is very similar to addiction. So basically, you become addicted to the highs, even though the lows are really low. It's not love, it's chemical captivity. Someone says they want to be with you, but then they push you away. And instead of letting go, you try harder to make things work. But every time you think you've made progress, they pull away again. And the only way you can bear it is by convincing yourself that if you can just fix the things between you two, they'll stay. But what if it's all just an illusion? What if you're stuck in a cycle that will never end? Because sometimes we get so used to feeling bad that we don't realize we actually being abused. Broken heart, the setup, the toxic cycle. Have you ever been with someone who kept you in a loop of rejection, love bombing, and silence? Counterclockwise arrows button trauma bonding explained. Have you ever thought that maybe your relationship isn't healthy? Maybe childhood attachment wounds. Now let's dive deeper into something called attachment theory. Test tube the brain in distress. Our brain has a reward system that releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin when we experience something pleasurable. Woman standing the role you play. Now let's talk about your role in this cycle. Pull the silence trap. There's a unique kind of pain that comes with being ignored by someone you care about. So what's the breakthrough? How do you escape this cycle? First, you need to name the trap. Give it a label. Have you ever felt trapped in this kind of love? It can be overwhelming, right? Share your story below. I'd love to hear what you've been through. If you enjoyed this dive into mind psychology, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating insights. Your support really means a lot. Like, comment, and subscribe.